It's been a long week. I have one more week of class left until exams, and then I'm off for the rest of December, which I am anticipating my student refund desperately right now. I think everyone is that goes to school. But, kind of left me in a money bind. I can get through it. I'll be alright. But, it hit at one of the most inopportune times. The rabbits need food, which since I'm donating plasma, that's kind of my budget money right now for food and everything, which was kind of my plan in the first place, and that's working out pretty well. And, I've been spending a lot less time playing games, which means I don't get a lot of reviews, having I need to finish filming the brain chunk food for December, and I need to get November's up, which hasn't been technical difficulties with the editor. We had some of it edited yesterday, and the computer decided, oh, by the way, I need to update, and there went everything. So I'm shooting for either this weekend or early next week for November's brain chunk food, and December's hopefully will be on time. But in spite of that, in spite of being up at the ass crack of dawn today to donate plasma and to get my student advising appointment so I can get my school schedule worked out for spring, I kind of had a smile on my face this morning. I got a request from a guy who reviews beer, actually, who wanted me to review a game called Papo and Yo. I had never, I've heard of the game before, and probably shouldn't cover my mouth right now. I wasn't really interested in playing it with the whole mechanic of the monster who's addicted to poisonous frogs, and I was like, thinking in the back of my head, wow, that is very thinly veiled. And kind of initially lame. And that was my first impression when I first heard of it. And here he comes saying, hey, can you review Papo and Yo? I tried the demo, I wanted to see what you thought of it. I'm like, okay, why not? I'm reviewing the demo, and I'll come back and review the full game later. And I have to say, I was taken aback at first. Because the first thing that happens once you start a new game is you get a blur or text blurb on the screen that says, this is for my mother, brothers, and sister who survived the monster inside my father. And then you see this kid hiding in a closet as a monster walks by the closet. Whoa, almost fell back. Anyway, and I was kind of taken aback because I was like, oh, the dad's abusive. Do I really want to play a game about a kid who's being abused? Then I started playing the actual game. Now, I'm usually the action gamer, survival horror to first-person shooters. If it doesn't have combat in it, or, graphic adventure elements like Gabriel Knight, the Walking Dead games, God, I wish I could play episode 5 right now. I love that series. But, another game I'll review here in a bit, Machinarium, probably in December I'll review that. But usually the games have some sort of combat. I started playing this, and I don't know how to describe it. I was thinking of this in my mind. I'm like, okay, I gotta describe this as like Portal but not with portals, with actual manipulating of the environment. And I don't think that gives this game credit. Mainly because Portal, at least the first one, had a one-shot gimmick of use portals to solve the puzzles. And Portal 2 expanded on that with the bounce gel and the sliding gel, but it still felt like, hey, here's this one big element of the game, use it to beat the game. And it kind of left not a bad taste in my mouth, but I got bored after a while of Portal. I'm weird like that. Instead of using portals, you have chalk drawings on walls or ceiling or roofs or floors that you can manipulate. And each different drawing does a different thing. Like, the keys make the houses grow feet and walk away. Gears usually open doors. And then you have levers that you can pull that will make staircases come out of the ground or the building, or pull the building apart so you could do something with it, like a secret passageway. In the boxes, you have boxes that you pick up, and entire buildings in the background lift up off the ground, and you can, where you put them in orientation to what's in front of you is where those buildings will land. So say you have like 5 empty squares drawn on the floor. You grab one of those boxes, put it on an empty square, and the area in front of you that's a chasm, a building will go where that empty square would have been on that chasm. And it's fairly simple. It's fairly simple stuff. But it's amazing. Because some of the things you can do with this in the game, you're looking at it and not expecting to be able to do this. You see the solid building, and all of a sudden you just pull a switch and staircases come out of the building that you can walk up to the next building over. And if you haven't played it, play it. I mean, this is, again, I'm just reviewing the demo. I didn't even get to the parts with the monster in it, because once you get to the monster, the demo ends. And I'm wondering what they do with him. Because it's just astounding what they did with it. It's a very artistic game. It very much shouts out, see, games are art. Because, I'm trying not to spoil it because I'm not sure of the story yet, but I'm pretty sure the monster represents your character's father. And his addiction to poisonous frogs that make him go into a rage. I'm pretty sure it's either drugs or alcohol. But you can apparently use his rage to your advantage. So you get him hooked on these poisonous frogs, he can destroy things in your way or something like that. I'm not sure. I want to see how this works. I really, really do. The only bad thing I can say about it is I found the controls a little loose. I mean, I can't really complain about the graphics. It's a PSN game. So the graphics aren't going to be, top notch. But for what they are, they're not bad at all. You're too distracted by what you can do to really pay attention to the models of the characters. They're second hand to the background in this, and it works. I wouldn't have it any other way. But I had issues jumping on ladders, or not jumping on ladders, but climbing ladders, because I'd be right at the ladder, run forward, and he'd run around the ladder. That could also be because I've been up since ass crack of dawn in the morning. But that's not enough to have me go, nope, this game sucks, because let me put it this way. When I can distract Liquid Thought from Tumblr with this game, I'm not going to complain. She's watching this game with the computer in front of her going, now here's the sad part. It's only on PlayStation. And it's sad because, God, I know people, fanboys mainly, are going to go, well, it's our exclusive. They did this with Mass Effect. A few PS3 fanboys said Mass Effect 2 shouldn't be on the PlayStation. And now that the Wii's going to have Mass Effect 3, people are even more pissed off, but that's more or less because the Wii U is a gimmick. Yes, Game Revolution, the Wii U is a gimmick. Get over it. But, there are games out there, say like Mass Effect, that should be shown to other people. This is one of those games. This is one of those games I wish the Xbox had or the Wii had, because the more people that play this game, the better. This is something that needs to be shared with everyone. This is downright proof that video games can be a form of art, if you ask me. Right up there with Heavy Rain or, oh hell, I can't remember its title, but, it was released years ago. H.R. Geiger actually did the graphics for it. If you don't know who, H.R. Geiger is, he did the designs for the Aliens and Alien, as well as a lot of morbid, neo-gothic, phallic artwork. Look him up, but make sure your kids aren't around. You'll thank me later. But yeah, I mean, rarely do I just say nothing positive about a game. And put it this way, I was debating not putting the Hitman Absolution review up and re-recording it because I thought I was too negative on it. I felt bad. I hated the game, but I felt bad about how negative I was about it. And then I played this, and the only negative thing I could say is that the controls might be a little loose. Because the game is just that fucking good. It's beautiful in more ways than just, hey, it looks good. And I'm just very, very sad to see that it's only on the PS3. Now, this is coming from an art major, okay? A CS major may say, no, it doesn't prove games are art. One of my best friends is a computer science major. He's a programmer. And he doesn't think games are art, at least currently, if I remember right. If you're watching this, feel free to correct me. But I'm playing this game with the view of an art major, looking at it going, everything fits. And if I'm reading this right, it's an escapist fantasy, because there are parts where you kind of go into this reality segment. Like, I saw one part of it, and it kind of makes you wonder if it is a fantasy that he's going into to hide from his father. And being able to manipulate the world, control, just, he's grasping for control of his life, and oh god, I came here to review it, and I'm going through all the nuances and what they could mean. Yeah, video games aren't art, huh? But, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I know it's a short review, but seriously, if you have a PlayStation, get this game. It's $15, but somewhere down the line, you would have to get this game. Yeah. Now, a little bit of non-gaming news. I mentioned I set up my schedule at school today. And something hit me. My advisor is pushing for me to get a classics minor. Since I'm a photo major, she wants me to get a classics minor, mainly in Greek and Roman culture. I'm like, okay. And then I realized, wait a minute, I wanted to be a psychology minor. And she stopped giving me, or offering psychology classes to me. Found out why. I took a psychology class my freshman year. And my teacher got a few things wrong that I corrected her on and showed her the proof. And of course, she told a lot of the other teachers this. This past semester, I was supposed to take another psychology class, the perception of senses. And the logic this teacher had was psychology is harder because it was discovered 200 years after physics. So physics is easier than psychology. I can do psychology. I can't do physics. I can't do math. I'm not good at it. So, I already knew me and the teacher were going to butt heads. I dropped, and when I was asked why I dropped, I gave that as a reason. So, when I asked why she didn't offer any psychology classes to me, I couldn't believe her answer. Apparently, I'm too good at it. To the point where the teachers know that if I take a psychology class, I'm going to research something I find suspicious or I know is wrong and correct them. And they don't want that. Now, I don't think this is every teacher. I think this is a few. Or at least the advisor doesn't want that. And I know the art department right now, because I got 2 of the teachers in trouble. One doesn't even work there anymore. Mostly because of what other students said as well about her. But, I was supposed to do my senior show next year. My big, huge art exhibit. One of my friends is doing hers, and she got offered to have me share one with her, and I told her, no, this is your show, do it. But the reason mine was supposed to be next year, but isn't anymore, was because my faculty advisor said I don't deserve the show yet. I haven't impressed her enough. And this is one of the teachers I was having trouble with. The art department yelled at her saying, no, because you need to give him his senior show. Because if you don't, he's just going to point out more of your teachers as criminals. So, here's an idea. Don't hire criminals! Now, I know they're exaggerating. One teacher, the one who doesn't work there anymore, used to work at a college and claimed she had shows in New York and Chicago and California. Found out she was fired from another school for treating her students like crap. And she was there on a temporary basis. They were thinking of hiring her permanently. And when they read all these reviews on her from all of her different classes, I had her for drawing, but apparently people in painting had issues with her from the beginning. My drawing has actually regressed from her class because she kept on telling me how I was doing it wrong. But they decided not to hire her after they got 95% of her evaluations as negative. Yeah. You can tell why I kind of don't like this art department. But anyway, I got my classes set up. I'm apparently going for a classics minor, which I didn't intend to. I should have some fun with it. Anyway, I need to record some stuff, get some Doom footage. I'll see you guys later.